My beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to talk about something many of us avoid. We push it away, we tell ourselves later, we feel uncomfortable even thinking about it, but it is something certain, unavoidable, and written for each one of us: death. And with death comes a great responsibility that many Muslims neglect: having an Islamic will. 1. Fulfilling a divine command. When we talk about a will in Islam, it's not simply a legal document, it is an act of worship. Allah has taught us the laws of inheritance in the Quran with such detail that no other act of worship is explained with such precision. This is because our wealth after we leave is no longer ours, it belongs to Allah, to be distributed the way He commanded. If we fail to write it down, we risk having our wealth handled by the laws of the land, which may not match the laws of Allah. And my brothers and sisters, whose law is more just, more merciful, more perfect than His. 2. Protecting your loved ones. We have all heard of families breaking apart over inheritance disputes. Brothers stop talking to brothers, sisters feel wronged, nephews and nieces grow up carrying grudges. One of the greatest blessings of an Islamic will is that it removes confusion. It says clearly, this is what Allah has decreed. There is no argument with the Creator's command, and this is a mercy you leave behind: unity, not division. 3. Safeguarding your deen after death. Your Islamic will is not just about money, it is your final statement of faith. You can write instructions for your janazah prayer, your burial, ensuring no un-Islamic rituals are done. You can ensure your debts are repaid, and remember, a debt unpaid in this world becomes a debt hanging over you in the hereafter. You can allocate a portion up to 1/3 for charity, so even after you have gone, your sadaqah continues to flow, your scale of good deeds continues to fill. 4. Preparing for the inevitable. My dear brothers and sisters, we all have dreams for tomorrow, but none of us are promised tomorrow. The Prophet taught that a Muslim should not let 2 nights pass without having his will written and ready. Why? Because readiness is a sign of Iman. It shows that you live for the Akhirah, not just for the dunya. Having an Islamic will means that if Allah calls you today, you leave this world in a state of order, not chaos, in obedience, not negligence. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we speak about an Islamic will, we must understand this is not a cultural practice, nor is it something that lawyers invented. This is a direct command from Allah Almighty, mentioned in the Quran and reinforced by the Sunnah of the Prophet. Allah has revealed the laws of inheritance in such precise detail that no other matter of daily life is given with such exact division in His book. Ayah after ayah in Surah An-Nisa lays out who gets what, in exact proportions: a brother, a sister, a parent, a spouse. And at the end of these verses, Allah warns us, these are the limits set by Allah, and whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger will be admitted to gardens beneath which rivers flow. But whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger and transgresses His limits, He will admit him to the fire. Surah An-Nisa 4:13-14. This is not a small matter. It is tied to our obedience, our submission. To ignore these laws is to say, consciously or unconsciously, I know better than Allah. And no believer would ever dare say such a thing with their tongue, but some leave it with their actions, by leaving their affairs to be decided by man-made systems that have nothing to do with what Allah has decreed. We must also remember, my brothers and sisters, that our wealth is never truly ours. From the moment we were born, every penny we earn, every property we buy, every asset in our name, it was given to us as a trust, an emanah from Allah. He allows us to benefit from it in life, but when we pass, He has already decided how it should be distributed. It is His wealth and His right to decide. Think about it: when a person dies without an Islamic will, the state steps in. The courts follow secular laws, which may give everything to one person, ignore rightful heirs, or even send it outside the family. This is not justice in the sight of Allah. A will is our way of saying, Ya Allah, I honor your command. I want my affairs to be handled the way you ordered, not the way the world suggests. The Prophet reminded us that a Muslim should never sleep 2 nights without having their will written and ready. Why? Because life is unpredictable, and obedience delayed can become obedience lost. Imagine standing before Allah and He asks, I gave you my instructions, why did you not prepare? Writing an Islamic will is, therefore, not about age or health. It is about faith. It is an act of ibadah, a worship that happens quietly at a desk with a pen, but is written with ink that will last into the hereafter. It is a sign that we place Allah's law above our own emotions, above our own opinions, and above the customs of our society. Do you want me to now also expand the protecting your loved ones section in the same detailed sermon, like flow so it feels balanced? That way, both parts will have equal weight and depth. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the most overlooked benefits of having an Islamic will is that it protects the very people we love the most, our family. When a person passes away, emotions run high. Grief is heavy. People are vulnerable, sensitive, and sometimes even fragile. At such a time, the last thing a family needs is confusion, disputes, or uncertainty over wealth and property. Yet, sadly, in many Muslim families, this is exactly what happens. Brothers stop speaking to brothers, sisters feel excluded or cheated, nephews and nieces grow up hearing stories of injustice, and in some cases, families that once prayed together no longer even share salam with each other. These divisions often don't come from greed alone, they come from the lack of clarity. Without a clear will written according to Allah's guidance, people are left to guess what the deceased would have wanted. Everyone remembers conversations differently, everyone interprets things through their own lens, and misunderstandings are almost guaranteed. An Islamic will removes this problem completely. It is not based on anyone's opinion or preference, it is based on Allah's decision. When the Quran has already declared, this portion is for this person, and that portion is for that person, and no one can claim it is unfair. Who can argue with the command of the Creator? And in that certainty, the family finds peace. Imagine a father passing away without leaving an Islamic will. His children may not even know that Islam gives daughters a share. In some cultures, daughters are told, your brothers will take care of you, you don't need anything. In others, certain relatives are excluded because they are not close enough. These are human opinions, but Allah's law is above culture, above custom, above even our emotions. If we truly love our family, we will protect their rights as Allah has given them, not as society defines them. There is also the question of fairness in a time when people's needs can be different. Some heirs may be wealthy already, others may be struggling. A parent may feel the urge to adjust the shares to suit what they see as fair. But, my brothers and sisters, no human being can outdo Allah in fairness. His division takes into account wisdom that we cannot see. It is not just about who gets more in this life, it is about justice in the eyes of the one who knows what is in every heart, what is in every future, and what is in every unseen. By leaving a clear Islamic will, we also protect our loved ones from legal complications. Without it, they may have to spend months, even years in court, dealing with paperwork, paying legal fees, and facing delays. This not only drains wealth, but drains patience, and it can prolong grief instead of allowing healing to begin. So, when we write an Islamic will, we are giving our family a gift far greater than money. We are giving them clarity, unity, and peace of mind. We are telling them, I have already taken care of this matter the way Allah commanded, so that you may remain united, so that you may focus on praying for me instead of fighting over what I left behind. If you want, I can also expand safeguarding your deen after death. In the same deep, khutbah-like style, so your speech builds more emotional and spiritual impact section by section. That would make the whole talk powerful and consistent. My beloved brothers and sisters, death is not the end of our responsibility as believers. When the soul departs the body, our deeds do not stop immediately. Some continue to benefit us, and sadly, some continue to harm us. An Islamic will is one of the most important tools we have to ensure that what happens after we leave this world remains in obedience to Allah and brings us ongoing reward. When a believer leaves this world, there are certain obligations that still need to be fulfilled. Debts, for example, do not disappear with death, The Prophet warned us that even the martyr, forgiven of all sins, is not forgiven for an unpaid debt until it is settled. Now imagine a person dies, and no one even knows what they owed, to whom, or how much. That debt becomes a burden on their soul in the hereafter. But if you have an Islamic will, you can clearly list any debts, loans, or unpaid obligations, ensuring they are repaid before your wealth is distributed. This is not just financial, it is a matter of standing before Allah free of anyone's claim. Then there is the matter of our final rights. Many Muslims do not realize that their funeral arrangements can be influenced by the culture or customs of those left behind. Sometimes, un-Islamic practices are introduced: extravagant spending, unnecessary rituals, or even delaying the burial without reason. If we care for our deen, we will write in our will instructions that our janazah prayer, shrouding and burial should be done according to the sunnah, with simplicity, dignity and speed. This way, even in death, we are calling to the way of the Prophet. Another beautiful aspect of an Islamic will is the ability to leave up to 1/3 of your estate for charitable causes. This is a chance to invest in sadaqah jariyah, ongoing charity that continues to benefit you after your death. A well dug in a poor village, Qurans printed for people to read, a masjid built where people will pray for decades, even a scholarship for a student of knowledge. The Prophet taught that when a person dies, all their deeds end except 3: ongoing charity, beneficial knowledge, and a righteous child who prays for them. Your will can ensure that one of those ongoing charity is set in motion before you even leave this world. It is also a way of protecting your Islamic identity. In many non-Muslim lands, if a Muslim dies without a will, the state may handle their burial, their wealth, and even the guardianship of their children in ways that have nothing to do with Islam. With a clear Islamic will, you can appoint a trustworthy Muslim to oversee these matters, ensuring that your children are raised with your values, your funeral is done according to your faith, and your wealth is divided in obedience to Allah. Think about it: the moment we leave this world, we can no longer recite a single tasbih, pray a single rak'ah, or give a single coin in charity. But through an Islamic will, we can leave behind instructions that cause prayers to be said, Qurans to be recited, water to be drunk, and knowledge to be spread, all adding to our scale of good deeds while we rest in the grave. Do you want me to now expand preparing for the inevitable in the same deep khutbas style, so your speech has a complete, fully developed flow from start to finish that will make the delivery very powerful? My dear brothers and sisters, there is one reality that unites every human being, the reality that every soul will taste death. We may differ in our wealth, our status, our nationality, our age, but in this we are all equal. The angel of death will come for each of us at a time we do not know, in a place we do not expect, and in a manner we cannot control. The Quran reminds us, wherever you may be, death will overtake you, even if you are in fortified towers. Surah An-Nisa 4:78. Some of us live as though death is far away, something that happens to others, something that comes only with old age or illness. But my brothers and sisters, the graves are filled with people who were healthy yesterday, who made plans for next week, who had meetings scheduled, weddings to attend, dreams to chase. None of them thought that their final day had arrived. This is why our beloved Prophet taught that a believer should never let 2 nights pass without having their will written and ready. It is not because we are obsessed with death, it is because we are conscious of the reality of life. We plan our weddings months in advance. We prepare for a trip weeks before we travel. We renew our car insurance before it expires. Yet, how many of us have prepared for the one journey that is absolutely guaranteed? Having an Islamic will is not a sign of pessimism. It is a sign of faith, maturity, and responsibility. It says, I know my life is in the hands of Allah, and I choose to be ready whenever He calls me. It is part of living with taqwa God, consciousness knowing that at any moment our book of deeds may close. Think of the peace it brings, knowing that if you do not wake up tomorrow, your affairs will not be left in chaos, your debts will be known and paid, your wealth will be distributed justly, your funeral will be handled with dignity, your loved ones will be protected from disputes, and your charity will continue to benefit you while you lie in your grave. We spend so much time worrying about the legacy we leave behind, our career achievements, our properties, our investments, but the true legacy of a believer is leaving this world in obedience to Allah. Preparing an Islamic will is a way of saying, when I leave, I want my last act in this dunya to be one of compliance with my Lord's command. And the truth is, my brothers and sisters, when death comes, we will not have the chance to rush and prepare. The pen will be lifted, the time for action will be over. The only preparation that matters will be the preparation we made while we were alive and capable. If you'd like, I can now combine all 4 expanded sections into a seamless, khutbah-style full speech, so it reads like one powerful flow without any breaks in tone. That way, it's ready to be delivered.